Basically, Red has been a Nox PNZ expert, very experienced on climbing with his own type of aggro deck, and as well, like Draven Ezreal, you said? Before and after
a little
launch?
bit of Draven. Before launch, I was very low masters, and I snuck in there basically mostly with Jinx Draven or Jinx Teemo Burn. But Jinx Draven, that's like my specialty deck. Or I'm not the best at it, but that's the deck I'm very interested in specializing in.
Okay, that's fair.
But I also the past 2 days I was playing Draven Ezreal and seeing a lot of success.
Okay.
Mostly Jinx Draven.
All right, let's have a look at the list first.
Okay, so the list. This is a list I've been playing it today too. So, I'll just scroll through, but I guess some things of note is Transfusion, Demolitionist, and Disciple go in like every PNZ Nox deck
For
I'm
sure.
playing right now.
Yeah.
This is just such a disgusting combo in my opinion. 2 Flame Chompers, 3 is too much, 1 is too little. Stu Academic, basically you get their blockers out of the way. With Rummage, you could get a lot of burst versus like decks that it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And not 3 Augmented Experimenter, and everything else is just pretty core. And just as many burn cards as you can to make like your top decks the very best.
Okay, I have
basically go ahead.
Hugo. Like I have to say, I generally like this list. I only dislike the Draven's biggest fan. I would for sure run Precious Pet or Saboteur instead.
I'm very open to that. Yeah, I'm willing to try it. It's just basically, in my opinion, especially the way this plays, it's so important to get Draven. It really doesn't feel that bad, but honestly, yeah, I absolutely don't mind Precious Pet. To be honest, the Precious Pet or Legion Saboteur, I feel like that's an important decision. I'm not really sure which one to pick.
I'm
thinking about the meta.
Yeah.
And like, what 1-drops are in the meta? Like,
I feel like in the current meta, Precious Pet might even be the better choice. Like usually you'd go Saboteur just for the extra damage if you're playing the burn deck. But if Precious Pet can connect more consistently with the Nexus, I like Precious Pet. Sorry,
my bad. I was just gonna say immediately my mind went to Bilgewater with the 1 mana 2/2, the 2 mana 2/3s, the 2 mana 2/2s. Like, so yeah, I think that's a pretty obvious answer.
Yeah,
I'm facing a lot of Bilgewater for whatever reason.
That Precious Pet should be fine. I'm just thinking like you're not running any Fervors or Decimates, right?
Decimate. This goes back to it's part of the discussion I want to have. In my opinion, this deck should be the way this deck should be built was just to maximize like burst and fast speed answers, and to try to make sure that once your Jinx is leveled, you should be having like highest chances of good top decks for finishers. I feel like Decimate is often so clunky because like basically 90% of my games I'm curving out into 3, 4. I'm not even that often dropping Jinx on 4, and then Augmented Experimenter is obviously refill. Like the Decimate can really feel more clunky, and just not to mention as it's expensive. Like I think the majority of what makes this deck good is that for such low mana costs, you can like basically with 0 mana burst spell, I could dump out Jury Rigs, I could dump out Flame Chompers, get blockers out of the way, all at burst speed.
Okay.
Like Decimate ends up being clunky in that game plan.
Yeah, I do agree. Like this deck looks for more value rather than finishing your opponent quickly, right? And Jinx Rockets can also be kind of Decimates. In like, of course, I'd say like on first looks, it's probably gonna be a bit more inconsistent than the regular burn deck. I'm not sure if it's gonna be quite as good, but it's a bit of a different game plan, right? It's makes good use of the whole Discord. Yeah.
Pre-patch, I would definitely say it's just a worse burn. Now I think it's a little bit more of a contender, but I haven't played enough burn recently to really say. But I do know this does have a good matchup versus burn, just because obviously they run out of gas. I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like the deck though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was more or less what I was running when I was smurfing and getting my accounts to masters as well, by the way. So I'm kind of familiar with the list, and I do really enjoy the list. It's very fun to play, and it's also demanding.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I've been only playing this list since I started playing the game. I'm really interested in like there's a lot of little points that I feel like I definitely make mistakes in, but when you're the only one playing, you won't always notice it.
That's a good point. Yeah, this one has a lot of micro decisions, this deck, so let's see if we can find them all together.
Should I queue up?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, yeah, I'm ready. But yeah, I agree with you. Like, I feel like if you're playing Decimates and Noxian Fervors, I feel like you might as well just be running Burn. You should just like double down on the strengths of this archetype rather than trying to make a worse Burn deck, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. And so, how long have you been stuck in like Plat 1 or 2 with this?
I only started playing again more so this past week, but yeah, I'm like 50% win rate. I've been winning a lot more. I was Plat 4 like a few days ago, but now I'm Plat 2. But I'm stuck at this rank.
Okay, all right, Mulligan.
Past few weeks. Okay, so my instinct is Transfusion is solid versus Sejuani because besides Clone Strike, they really don't interact. So my instinct is Raven, Astute Academic, Transfusion. I like Transfusion because I'm most likely floating on turn 2. Plus I draw a 2-drop, and I really don't want to be using my burn on their minions because they're just going to Elixir of Iron and do whatever. So I don't want to play it for their game plan.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, you have a fairly high likelihood of drawing a 2-drop if you kick Transfusion, by turn 2 that is. But against that deck, I also don't mind.
Transfusion.
Okay, yeah, it's about even, I think.
Yeah. The thing is, most of my 2-drops are like, because Crimson Disciple is the only one that you could. I'm definitely jamming this. Right?
Yeah,
definitely. My like the 2-mana 2/3 Demolitionist. It's not really like a 2-drop. It could be in situations where you need early minions.
Mm-hmm.
Crimson Disciple is the only one that you really jam, and I feel like even then, it's more like, it's like when you don't have Jinx. Yeah, see, right, this is a perfect situation. Okay, so I definitely dropped the 2/3.
You could also just drop the Academic and like block this one with a buffed Academic. If you want to preserve the...
And then leave the Rummage open. I tend to save the Rummages for the axes unless I see level up play. I definitely think... Okay, so he could be on Elixir of Iron, right? So that would basically make this 4 health on the block, and I could Rummage Vision and this buff them up and to kill it.
Pretty much. Like, I don't see the
sure
merit.
How much I value killing this.
The Ruthless Raider you should get rid of. I just don't see the merit, like, on board of having Imperial Demolitionist over Astute Academic. Like, Academic can be more damage, right?
Actually, no, you're definitely right. So this tells me he doesn't have Iron, right? Like,
yeah, pretty much.
In most cases.
Yep.
Yeah, because he had an opening for a free Sejuani level.
Yeah, this is an easy Draven.
Yeah, definitely. Just it makes my Rummage just so good.
Exactly, yeah. And that's, by the way, also one very good reason for having played Academic last turn over Demolitionist.
I do want to hold off on my Rummage as long as possible, so I can maybe use it to level Jinx, but I won't be overly greedy if there's no opening for that.
Yeah, let's see how he responds to this.
Yeah, it's a full screen. Overall, versus this deck, I feel like I just get punished if I try to play too much into their game plan of just... Okay, so
this is
a Rummage.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe it's Axe. Maybe it's an Axe Vision, because it has the same result, but then, again, I get to save the Rummage for...
Yeah, you could even flip Jinx next turn. It's a bit dependent on how aggressively you want to flip Jinx. But you have a point, like, his deck does not have good removal for a flip Jinx, right?
I tend to pull up the list. I'm not right now, but I've played this a lot. I feel like it's a Vision just because, yeah, like you said, I flip Jinx. This is actually one of the smoothest flips I've seen. I think this is an Axe.
Yeah, this is one of the fastest, like, flips for sure you can get.
Yeah, even from playing all day, this might be one of the faster flips I've seen. Yeah, and he has no answer. He has no Iron. Yeah, this is feeling a little bit like a high roll, but
probably is.
I mean, yeah. Oh, I forgot the axes. I could definitely flip Jinx.
Yeah, but you just draw one card with Rummage. Like, Jinx still gets flipped.
Yeah, that's true. That's another thing when you play this deck you have to keep in mind.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like, hand size management, I messed up so many times while I was climbing. It's crazy.
Yeah, and if you have level Jinx, like you could, if you mess up, you can miss on your rocket. Okay, so he has no mana. Okay, so I'm definitely dropping Jinx, but I'm saying like I would almost be willing to give up the Draven here, axe, and then use the second axe, and then Rummage to get 2 heroes. So basically, use the axe on the Draven, give it to 5 attacks. I know he can't answer that.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
This is a consider. Yeah, because Draven isn't leveling anytime soon, and he's really not that valuable versus like high staggered minions.
Yeah, it also makes it very easy to get a rocket next turn, because at the end of combat. Wait. If okay, you want the axe to get to draw 2 cards instead, right?
Yeah,
because the other consideration is if you rummage right now, you draw 1 less card but have an axe instead, so it's going to be a lot easier to get Jinx's rocket next turn, but I'm not sure what's more valuable.
Next turn I'm on 5 mana, so if I draw... well, the thing is...
yeah, it's probably to...
Chances are I'm not drawing a rocket next turn anyway.
Okay. Yeah, okay, against...
see, in that position, chances are I'm not drawing a rocket next turn anyway, because let's say like the average draw is like Get Excited, Transfusion... You know, I'm drawing 2 right now, or at least 1 right now, as well as with the level Jinx. Just from a math perspective.
Yeah, I mean, you can't discard the most expensive. You can't discard the most expensive one with the Draven Axe, though. That was kind of my reasoning. But
okay.
Against that deck where you kind of don't need to go super duper fast, you kind of want the value route. I actually prefer your play. I think that was good. Or that would have been good. Like.
I'll queue up again.
Yep, for sure.
No, that is something to think. So yeah, like I said, like sometimes my mind instantly goes to like whatever play, like I guess almost muscle memory. Not really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, like automated.
Yeah. Okay, so Lux Karma. So they're gonna have the 3 mana 3/4s, right? Like the early minions and curving into. Actually, I'm gonna pull up this list. I don't play versus this often. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull up the net deck. My instinct here is keep all the burn cards because this is just only health potions. I guess they do probably run 3 health potions.
Yeah, like newer versions of Lux Karma shouldn't run Eye of the Dragon. So yeah, Rummage and Jury Rig. While it is a fun combo, you don't want that in your opening hand usually.
Yeah. The net deck I'm seeing, yeah, exactly. I agree. This is my instinct. Jury Rig, maybe if I had Draven, but no, I don't like this. I'm looking the net deck. This net deck doesn't have 3 health pots, so maybe they changed since Burn got nerfed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, so right now I'm playing as if I'm running Draven's biggest fan, but I forgot about the Precious. Okay, so for 3.
I was just gonna say you have like an insanely good starting hand.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is. Well, I'm just wondering, is this ever an open attack? No, never.
Against that deck, I wouldn't.
This net deck I'm looking at says they have Mage Seeker Persuader.
But then it trades evenly. It's fine. You have 2 disciples. You'll use the second one to activate the Demolitionist.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you're the super fast deck, like the hyper aggro deck, you can't really play around everything your opponent could have if they only have it half of the time. You're not really in a position to do so. But you basically, if your opponent holds the perfect answer, you can't win anyway. Like no matter how much better you are. That's kind of the trade-off you make when playing a hyper aggressive deck.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Basically, yeah.
Draven's pretty easy. Next turn's gonna be scary. The next turn.
I'll admit, I was expecting a Remembrance because that seems to be like the general line of play for Lux decks, but.
Yeah, but like I said, by turn 3, even if they hard mulligan for it, the chance of them having is something like 60%, I think.
Yeah.
So 2 out of 3 games or something, they won't have it. Let me pull up the math here on this side for hard mulligan Remembrance.
In this spot, I don't like actually using damage this, I feel like, because basically, I'm wondering if I should open develop or just open attack.
I'd for sure develop.
This is developed turn.
Yeah, the reasoning being like his turn 4 play is gonna be Grizzled Ranger, which is only 1 blocker, whereas you can develop 2 minions.
Why wouldn't he play it last turn?
Grizzled Ranger costs 4 mana.
Yeah. You're right. I'm confused with
Badger Bear.
Yeah. Okay, so there's the line I see is Rummage. No, not Rummage. I think I attack now, and then whatever's left, I demolish it in this state.
I disagree. I would for sure demolition is first, because that just means you get 2 more damage to his Nexus in. If it's on board.
But he can't kill both Crimson Disciples, can he?
Yeah, but still, it's just like basically the damage you save. Like, or what's your reasoning for not using it right now? Single combat?
Well, I guess I am thinking. Okay, so I don't want to go off this net deck, but I was thinking like, I don't know, Twin Disciples, single combat. I want to have my options open. Basically, like something like Twin Disciples or single combat. Yeah.
Okay.
But
the thing is, you need to consider if you drop this minion, no matter if the effect gets through or not, it's already worth 2 more damage on board. Also, I would probably open up with the axe and pull one aside. Or you should, like, Flame Chompers.
Which one?
That's fine.
I'm thinking pull the 3/1, right? Pull the 3/1.
Yeah, it's the only one that can get a value block.
Yeah.
And like this is a very minor thing, but you should have probably put the axe on someone else just to spread out your power, so he can only block 3 damage instead of 4 on board.
I should focus on leveling, not leveling Draven, but damage.
Exactly. Like in this situation, you don't need Garen to flip. But the difference is like having him in Get Excited range or not having him in Get Excited range here.
You're right. You're definitely right, actually. Yeah.
So to get back to the thing earlier, if you just do like a risk reward calculation, the thing is, if he has single combat, he'll always get value out of it anyway. And if he doesn't have it, you'll just about win on this spot, right? We're like ridiculously far ahead right now. And like playing around single combat, like if he has it, of course, it's a bit better to open attack, but it's not much worse to develop first. Because even if you don't get the Disciple proc, like you lose out on 4 damage, but you gain 2 damage anyway by it being on board. And if he doesn't have single combat, which single combat he might not even mulligan for, he have like half of the time, you gain a ridiculous amount of damage, right? You can probably even rummage.
I can't play around everything.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm thinking rummage, axe, jerry rig.
Yeah.
These two.
Looks good.
List for free. I'm also now we're in judgment turn. Okay,
Yeah. Let's see what he does first, but if he expends his mana here, like he pretty much already told us he didn't have single combat last turn, so he must have drawn it this turn. You're fine.
I think I have the leeway to play around deny here, don't I?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like since I'm so ahead, I'm allowed to just like perma pass, and if he passes it back, I win.
Yep.
Actually no, judgment. Don't.
But if you play it on your attack turn, he expends mana to deny. He can't judgment anymore. So you're fine to pass here.
I let him pass, and then if he passes back, I don't open attack.
All right, that should be game.
Isn't health potion still a chance?
Well, a chance.
Wait on this, or should I just go in?
You set yourself like the health potion is always going to equal 3 HP, so you're going in anyway.
You're right. That might as well play around deny and then not play around health pot, then have to play around both next turn.
Yeah.
Okay, I just win.
Easy game.
Yeah, true. Maybe I do play. Maybe I do play like aggressive decks overly cautious, but you should only play overly cautious basically if you have the leeway to, right?
Yeah, it's like aggressive decks gain their merit, or rather have the merit in like knowing your opponent only has the answers he would like to have at maximum half of the time.
It's kind of disappointing because both these games I've basically just won solely off the merit of Crimson Disciple and Demolitionist, which is, I mean, it's not as flashy, but it gets the job done.
Yeah. No, but it's 4 damage to face and 2 minions. It's ridiculously good.
Yeah, it's gonna get nerfed, so I might as well abuse it. My instinct here is drop Get Excited and Vision just because like the Get Excited represents like 2 cards out of my hand. Vision is like basically I want more cards to play in the early game, especially versus what is this? Just basically like a cycle deck.
Yeah, I agree. This is like the buff Fizz deck sort of thing.
I'm rather looking for units early. Yep,
that's good.
Better. Yeah, this is really good in my opinion. Like, what can he have? So his removal options are Get Excited. Like between these region combinations, it's Make It Rain, Get Excited, or Gotcha, Mystic Shot. Okay, so I'm dropping the 2/3, right? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Chronos, one of my viewers, is kind of pointing out, and I kind of agree with him. It seems like you're putting a lot of value onto Rummage in general as a card, whereas it's like it is a strong card, but like your deck is not centered around Rummage. Rummage is just a strong supporting card.
I don't understand. Like I don't understand.
What I mean is like, okay, you're basically your main objective with this, like every card you have in your deck, you have to value as like how valuable is each card in each situation, and the answer is like how does it interact with my opponent's Nexus health? How efficiently does it get it closer to 0 before he stabilizes? And
real quick, could we come back to this point? Okay, because I feel like come back to this point after this game, like just when I'm out of game.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm not completely understanding, but then I'm also distracted by the game. So
yeah, of course.
After this game, I won't queue up me.
All right.
So I think this is an open attack. And not an open axe.
No, not yet. Not yet. Let him assign blockers first.
Yeah. Okay, aces. Oh, that's a very weak turn from him. Yeah, this is just the axe on Draven, right?
Yeah. At this point, he can't interact with Draven on 1 mana.
Not at fast speed. Like, if I don't have any other units in hand, I tend to like. My instinct is always to prioritize leveling Draven. It's like I have multiple like kind of mini win conditions. Like one of them is, for instance, Burn with the Crimson Disciple. One of them is leveling Draven. Another is leveling Jinx. Another is like dumping my hand and using the 6 mana 3/3 draw 3. And like when a hand isn't like, let's say my hand was even smaller here, my prioritization would be, if I didn't have Rummage, it would be level Draven. That's like a way. That's my way of getting value. Since I have Rummage, I'm less concerned about leveling. But
okay, yeah, I do understand, but like, I do have to say, leveling Draven in a super fast aggro deck is going to happen pretty rarely overall.
So I'm passing here. In my opinion, I pass here just because he has to take the attack. So even if I do make a move, I feel like
yeah, it's either like Rummage or pass. I'm not too familiar with his deck. I don't know if he's gonna be forced to attack, but I don't mind passing.
I think this pass is fine just because most of my answers are fast and burst speed. So.
Yeah, the reason like the okay.
I take this block.
Yeah, for sure. I'm surprised he swings with this.
Yeah, I think he's just. That's on him. Yeah.
Anything else you're thinking
again,
about?
Like, I mean, I always just double check if I miss something, but yeah, I think I just click block. No, maybe the Rummage now, but no, they're all burst and fast speed answers. So,
what about? He's on 1 mana. I don't know his deck too well, but like, does he have a lot of answers on 1 mana that are burst speed to save Fizz?
Homage, Jerry Rig, since he's
Right. He does splash PNZ. You have a point. Okay.
You always have the risk of
wait, before you pass, just one thing. Like, every minion you put on board right now is gonna equal direct face damage, right? Yes. So if you rummage and draw a minion and play it, you basically turn your minion into a constant deal damage to Nexus. Yeah.
You're definitely right, actually.
All right. Pick
up. In my head, I'm like, no, because he's got mana, so it's just an easy open attack. He has to take this block. Yeah, it's just an attack, right?
Okay, I don't really know his deck list, right? He could have what's his face? He could have Twisted Fate, gold card. That would be pretty bad. Yeah, I like open attack.
Gotcha, get excited, or that's against dropping. I tend to drop like Jinx at the end of the turn, I guess for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Take this, right?
Yeah, there's not much we have to do or we can do.
We have 4 in hand. The thing is now, how do I level Jinx, right?
Well, you won't this turn. You can next turn.
Yeah, that's true. Around like, or actually,
well, you probably
see there's some situations where I feel like I do have the leeway to just like, I definitely just Jinx. It's too cute not to. Right?
Well, yeah, you kind of have to play Jinx anyway. The one line you could take is open up with Mystic Shot and see if he plays another spell or minion, but he probably won't. Like, actually, maybe you can force a pocket aces, but I'm not quite sure. The thing is, yeah.
I was just saying, not while he's at 8 HP. I don't like.
Yeah,
I don't like that play.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Thing is, if he uses like his mana for Get Excited now or Thermo Beam, he's only gonna have 6 mana next turn to build a formidable board, and like he cannot use spells. Okay, that's really good for us.
Yeah. The thing with Jinx and like the Draven champ spell, it is kind of awkward to dump it out of your hand, but I could axe it if I need to. I don't really care about losing him. I just take this. I don't really care about damage.
That's not threatening at all.
And then in spots like these or in similar spots, I always think like, okay, what's the fastest way I could level Jinx in case he targets it, like let's say with the 3 damage removal. So I always play like the slow things first.
Yeah,
and then
the minions first for sure.
Yeah. Pass, right? I don't really care that much here. Like,
as long as your open attack is really threatening, you can pass. As long as you think you win anyway on open attacking.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like I could force the level, but that would just be kind of too much at once. Like I don't need to level Jinx ASAP.
Yeah, no, because that's really bad against Get Excited or like Gotcha or.
That's anything. One thing I've been punished with this deck before. Is like you focus too much on leveling Jinx, and all of a sudden like you're slave to your top decks.
Mm-hmm.
This is weird. It seems like he's looking for answers or something. I don't know. Oh, I level the Jinx.
Yeah,
right?
No, you're free.
Slowly. I'm aiming this face because this sets up rocket lethal.
Yes, but aiming it at minions also sets up board lethal. It's pretty close.
Like this color combo has a lot of board interaction, especially since he could easily Get Excited, Mystic Shots from me. Also, he's Pilt over himself. He has Make It Rain. I feel like he has board interaction.
Yeah, okay. I can get behind it. Yeah. Sending it face is pretty...
You think you would have done that play too, or you would have focused on the minion?
The thing is, like, getting rid of the minions is better if we don't find lethal on our next attack. pretty much. But I guess we need to kind
Since
of
we're flipping
lower...
Jinx right now, like we always have Rocket Leaf as a threat.
As a threat, yeah. But it's not guaranteed. Like, say we draw 2 minions.
Well, even let's say he kills Jinx, then if I'm top decking, like top decks Jinx is.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like for the rest of the game, I have that threat since I'm leveling Jinx right now.
Yeah.
We'll see. Becomes 3 attack. Block here, if he wants. Yeah. Okay. So
the thing is, like, my thought process was if we remove the 2 minions, like even if he has removal for a 1 HP and or a 2 HP unit, one of the bigger guys probably gets through. Like he would have to have perfect removal, like make it rain into Mystic Shot into Get Excited or something.
So you think that's the better play, is focusing on the minions?
I'm trying to figure it out. It's actually pretty close.
I'm gonna watch the stream VOD because this is the type of thing you have to think about like once, and then you'll know. I open attack, and then I just fuck it as a response.
Yeah. You can just send the rocket, like the Get Excited to face.
It's just a win. Like this color combo doesn't have comeback mechanic. It's fine. One of the 2/2 goes to the 3/2. One of the big guys gets chump block. Oh, both of them do.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the question is he more is he more likely to hold removal to not allow any of our minions hit his nexus, or is he more likely for us to draw 2 minions? Like I'd have to do the maths on this. But now saying this, I'm actually leaning towards liking the 2 Mystic Shots to face more. So I'm leaning towards that you did the right play.
I messed up. Okay, there you go. I just did the misplay.
Talking
about where you have to preempt it. After playing this a bunch, I always forget that. Wow.
Yeah, it happens. Don't worry. Like you're still winning this game most likely.
Yeah, but he's just. Well, the thing is, I agree that he wouldn't have held removal this whole time, but last turn he drew a bunch, and then afterwards he was tapped out. Like, he tapped out by drawing a bunch from my deck, which has removal spells.
Good points, yeah.
So he had cards in hand that he could not have the ability to... exactly. This play just lost me the game. Not lost me the game.
He's still at 1 theoretical HP, so...
I still just jam the Get Excited? Yeah. I want to discard Whirling Death. Oh, I can't.
No, I don't think you should discard Whirling Death. I don't... Yeah, Get Excited is better if you top deck... Like, doing it now is better if you top deck Augmented Experimenter, so... I would probably send it in now.
Yeah, I'm sending it to face, but I'm thinking if I discard Whirling Death, then a top deck Jinx doesn't give me a Rocket. But if I discard Spinning Axe, I might never be able to dump this from my hand until he kills Draven. But that doesn't matter, so it's this. Yeah. That doesn't matter because as long as the Draven's on the board, it's game me value. Killing his minion. If I lose this game, that's very embarrassing, but it happens, I guess.
That's what we're here for. That's what we're learning. Okay.
That's a nice job.
Yep, for
I'll
sure.
definitely have to watch the VOD. There's, again, like, especially with this deck, there's a lot of weird spots. I'm sending this into where? The 3-1?
I'd send it to the Disciple, just because why not, basically.
Yeah. Oh, the 2... Now my lose condition is like Fizz elusive with some burn that he took from my deck. But it doesn't matter. Yeah, you're right. Why not? Oh no. Why not? Because when I attack with this, it's 2/3 on his board instead of 3. It's gonna Basically, one of these is gonna be a blocker for the 3/3.
But we're kind of winning before we attack next time anyway. Like, I mean, it's at this point it doesn't really matter. I just straight up tell you.
Yeah, yeah, maybe I am overthinking it.
The reason why I like the other one more mainly was if he did find one of your transfusions, you're much better off putting it onto the disciple, because then he has to kill his own minions while transfusing, and this, yeah.
You're right. This I'm looking through. I'm just thinking like, am I playing this turn?
Transfusion doesn't make sense to play.
I mean the minion mostly. Because maybe if he taps out for mana, I'm rummaging this turn looking for a Mystic Shot. Actually, how many have I used? I've used 2. He's took 1, so I don't have any more Mystic Shots.
Mm-hmm. So the answer is...
I need 2 draws.
The answer to that question is like... Okay, basically, is there a downside to playing the minion is number 1? And is there... like
1 less draw.
Is it though? Like, look at your mana. When would you be using... If you now play a 1 mana minion, when would you be using Rummage? I mean, you said it yourself. It's a burst speed spell, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't get 1 less draw, so I'm just gonna burst it next.
Exactly. Like, if it's a non-burn card, you can just get rid of it.
He took... This is all from my deck straight.
Yeah, that's also one of the reasons why I would have preferred to get rid of the Disciple.
I mean, but anything that happens from this point forward, I deserve for making the misplay on the Rocket, so I can't even be that mad. See, now if he's on double Get Excited from his deck and mine, yeah, now if he's on double Get Excited, do I play around? I have to, right?
What do you mean? You have to play...
This coming turn, when I open attack, he can, double Get Excited.
Yeah, but then you just rummage and hope to find lethal over the top. There's nothing you can do apart from that if he has double Get Excited.
Yeah, so it's all because I misplayed the Rocket. Okay, so I'm taking value trades here to threaten the open attack lethal, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So value,
be aware though that he still has 3 mana and he might have your cards, right?
Yeah. So I mean, they're all 2 attacks, so I'm taking 2 no matter what. I just have to play around another transfusion. So this has to go here to play around transfusion. This has to go here, and then I guess it doesn't matter. Do I take 4?
You shouldn't.
Shouldn't, yeah, because Mystic Shot still.
Or transfusion would... No, wait.
Is there a rummage to kill his minion? If I rummage to kill his minion, I have 2 and he has 1.
If you're actually focused on value trading, the 1/2 should block the 2/1. Right now, like both of you will have 2 minions left on board.
So I should rummage.
I wouldn't rummage, no. Like it depends. Like either you're playing around transfusion, then you block the way you do, or you exchange Draven with Astute Academic and have a 1 minion advantage on board. But I'm not sure if that's worth it, because he probably has removal to your open attack.
I knew he took the chance. Okay, so is this a transfusion? No, right?
I wouldn't know. Like you're not winning by board swinging anymore, most likely. But you're rather winning. Yeah.
I'm passing here.
Mm-hmm. The 1 mana is probably not gonna matter.
I'll just keep this fusion. It's the only one that could maybe be useful.
Yeah.
I rummage. Oof, I'm actually getting punished for my just go for it. Oh.
Yeah, but in which order?
I would no, I'm just doing this because then I could always burst speed.
Yeah, I like it.
So I always have the burst speed answer, but not be in this position in the first place. Let's see what you got for my deck, my friend. Is that game?
Depends on whether or not he does something more that actually makes sense. Oh wow, I'm surprised he didn't rummage for 2 cards.
Okay, I won't immediately queue up because I want to come back to that point you were talking about how I overvalue rummage.
Okay. It's not
That was a
even.
while.
Yeah, yeah. Wait. Right. So Kronos had a pretty good. Yeah, that sentence sums it up pretty well. He said, when you're thinking of plays, you always go for the rummage plays in your head first instead of thinking about optimal damage. And that is what you. Excuse me?
I was just saying that is true. When you put it like that, I realize you're right.
Yeah, so what I was trying to say earlier is if you're playing the hyper aggressive deck, the most important factor, the most important variable in the game is your opponent's Nexus health, right? And every card in your deck is only a means to achieve lowering your opponent's Nexus health. And that's exactly what you should always be thinking of. Because minions are basically just repeated burst spells you put onto board, right? Like if you look at your minions, you play a Precious Pet turn 1, and you have the attack token, it's at least gonna be 2 damage, and the potential for being more damage, right? That's the only reason.
I should be more okay with doing a one draw rummage.
Yeah, in general, like
maybe less value out rummage.
Yeah, it's yes, and also like flipping Jinx is only as important as the burn damage she translates into. So oftentimes it's not that like Jinx is one of your win conditions, but it's not like if you don't flip Jinx you don't win. Like this deck is maybe even more a Disciple deck than it is a Jinx deck right now. So yeah.
Okay, I know, but I'm trying to make Jinx driven work, and
no, I mean it is working well, but it also works if you don't flip Jinx. That's all I'm saying. Like, and you don't have to have Rummage to flip Jinx neither.
Right, you're right. Right. I mean, all of today it's been playing for me. I'm queuing up, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
All today it's basically been playing as a Draven list for the most part, with Jinx is really insurance kind of. Also, I have how much have you seen? Like, I swear that there used to be the Teemo Jinx burn deck, but it just kind of fell out of favor. Well, now it fell out of favor because of all the new cards that got released. Like, it's just kind of redundant. But that deck used to be pretty fun, the Teemo Jinx burn.
You mean back in beta?
Well, not even beta, but I guess pre-release. Does that count as beta?
Yeah, it's still beta.
I was playing it recently, but it's just a worse burn list.
Yeah, I agree. But then again, like now that Rearguard got nerfed and Teemo kind of takes its slot, I could see like cutting 2 or 3 cards for 2 or 3 Jinxes.
Yeah.
And the rest just being a standard burn list.
My instinct here is Precious Pet Transfusion, because this is like built over. Like this deck just deals with. Actually, it does. It has Get Excited, Mystic Shots, stuff like that, but I'm not guaranteed to draw another minion, so
yeah,
Transfusion's kind of troll here.
Yeah, I like it. It's not like trolly, but I would also kick it just because you want to maximize your chances of drawing minions before turn 3.
Yeah, that's optimistic. I mean, this is obviously a situation where Draven's biggest fan would be very nice here. Also, Draven's biggest fan impacts your mulligan a lot when it's in your deck. Like, if you don't have Draven, but you actually will keep like the jury rigs, or what will you if you have Draven's biggest fan?
Yeah, I mean, you can try both out. I'm just pretty sure like long term against all matchups across the board, like Precious Pet and Saboteur are both going to be better than Draven's biggest fan. Or if you want to run Draven's biggest fan, I would cut like 1 or 2 other minions, like not 1-drops. Like this deck cannot really play less than 6 real 1-drops.
Okay, so this is just an open attack, right? How does this deck play? This deck plays basically just saving all the mana until they drop Heimerdinger for the turrets, right?
Yep.
So this is an open attack.
Yep. He might play Solitary Monk here. And yeah, turn 5 is either Veimer, either Vi or Heimer.
I'm really not a fan of this deck, but I guess.
Well, some people
so that's joy out of. I just never play into his. disciples. I feel like all of my spells should be going to his face, ideally, right? Like
It depends a bit on how the game unfolds.
Yeah, well, unless it's like Heimerdinger and he's tapped out. But I feel like here I just do nothing, honestly. Like, what's the point of playing?
Well, the thing is, you also have to regard every blocker as like how much Nexus damage does that prohibit or inhibit. Like getting rid of a blocker can also translate into face damage. Like this blocker staying on board, does it basically prevent more than 3 Nexus damage? You know what I mean?
It could, because it enables the Spirit's Refuge.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, in that spot, he has the 3 mana. I feel like if I get excited, he just
Twin Disciplines. Yeah, it's a possible answer, but then again, like he's probably not keeping Twin in his opening hand, so the chance of him having it by turn. Wait, give me a second. So that means if he full mulls 7 cards drawn, so it's below 50% of him holding it by turn 3.
I don't.
And also like mana efficiency, right? As the burn deck, like the second most valuable resource is mana, and you want to outrace him, right? You want to always, like, if you don't have an advantage on board early on, you're most likely not going to win. Like if you never get board damage in. Yeah, you're kind of forced into dropping Jinx. Yeah.
Yeah. Just because I have a second one. This is an awkward hand. I feel like. So last turn when I had the 3 and the 2, I could have Mystic Shotted face.
Yeah, either you for sure should start using your mana. Either you decide at that point like all your burn is gonna go face and you do that, or you say, okay, board state is still going to matter. I'll get excited. The Solitary Monk.
Yeah, so this is expected. So last turn I feel like I should have committed to the burn play, so this would just be a 0 mana Mystic Shot effectively.
Yeah.
Since that 2 mana went to waste. Is this a transfusion?
That's actually a really good question.
I have the second Jinx in hand, but like it's not really that committal.
You're most likely gonna trade transfusion for a Mystic Shot, so I don't think this should be a transfusion.
It's not. If I'm committed to the burn play, this is just image.
Like you want your transfusion to equal Nexus damage and not just like to get traded with a Mystic Shot, right?
That's true. That's true. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Well, I mean, you're pretty. You're for sure dropping the other Jinx.
Like right now? I know I'm definitely doing it this turn, but am I doing it right now?
What's keeping you? Like, if you pass, if he's a good player, he just passes back.
How often? Yeah, exactly. So how often am I attacking? Like, this deck has so many answers to the Jinx quick attack, so...
Yeah, but like I said, Jinx is not your only win condition, so...
She is in this current hand. I guess no.
Yeah, exactly. Also, before you use Augmented Experiment, I mean, you technically have 10 direct face damage, plus Transfusion, plus Experimenter to refill your hand. You don't even really need Jinx.
Oh, okay, so... The 3 mana is just probably going to be, what, Flash, Twin Disciples?
Mm-hmm. So what's our play right here?
Attack.
Yep.
This is definitely an attack, yeah. There's no reason not to. You do have the answers, so... The elusive turrets, yeah, exactly. So he didn't even have the flash, which is nice. So is this get excited or no? I think it's transfusion. It's definitely transfusion.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call.
Well, transfusion means you lose out on 2 damage, though.
Oh yeah, true.
Like it's. So basically, if you transfuse here, and well, if you are planning on never
If I'm get excited, I'm discarding Demolitionist. Or maybe Transfusion. Either Demolitionist or Transfusion. I feel like the chances of... Yeah, no, it's Transfusion. I think I'm get excited and then discarding Transfusion.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty hard spot. So get excited. If you are planning on sending all your burn phase, yeah, you can do it.
I mean, Jinx does equate to burn because it's obvious he doesn't have answers besides this.
Yeah. The only question
Jinx does equate to burn.
Yeah, the only question is like, do you transfuse here? Like, you basically you take 2 damage off board but you keep 3 more damage in hand. But the 3 more damage does eat up other resources, and that is like 1 more mana and most importantly the discard. So it kind of depends. Like the thing is, we would need to spend all of our mana this and next turn to send the burn phase. It's probably too slow, right?
Yeah.
I think I like get excited on the monk.
What about this turn?
Wait, did we have Mystic Shot in hand the whole time?
Yes.
Was I sleeping on that? Why?
Oh my god.
Why didn't we Mystic Shot? I actually didn't see it neither.
No. Oh, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, no, that was definitely the correct play. Wow. Okay, that's still. I mean, it's still a winnable position. I'm never Augmented Experimenter here. Never. This leaves me with 5 mana, so this is... I think this is this. This is the play.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, your Jinx is pretty dead.
Unit. These are all pretty reactive. I'm get excited face with the vision, so it kills his Vi.
Mm-hmm.
Then also Mystic Shot face, and then next turn... I think it will be an open attack.
Yeah, you also have a window to kill Heimer right now. He can't protect Heimer.
But aren't we committing to burn?
Well, that's a question.
He's tapped out.
The question
all this damage sticks.
We need to ask ourselves is, are we ever gonna get board damage in again?
Actually, no. There's no argument. Like, I've already kind of botched the burn game plan. I feel like killing Heimer is correct here because we have Augmented Experiment to refill. He's on 4 cards in hand.
Yeah, I think
it seems a lot of them are reactive.
I think I'd blow up Heimer and Mystic Shot the turret the same turn, because like Mystic Shot allows 1 more minion to get through, right?
Yeah,
if he doesn't have removal, that is. But like at this current game,
it's an open attack. It's an open attack.
Well, probably not, because the Experimenter, if it kills off Vi, basically goes 2 for 1. Like, you develop a minion while removing 1 of his minions, and he can only play 1 minion.
I feel like his hand is filled with reactive things. Like, it's obvious he dead cards.
Yeah, but that's even more of an argument for not open attacking.
I feel like that's more of an argument because deny, basically. Actually, the second draw changes it, but basically, if this gets denied, it's game losing. I feel like this is game losing if this gets denied.
Yeah, but like we lose either way if he holds deny, so... Or what do you mean? Like, we open attack and we hope he just blows more than 4 mana reactively, and then we augment?
You're right. So, yeah.
I mean, we're behind at this point anyway, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And that can actually flip the game.
Actually. Yeah, you're right. Also, open this flips Jinx.
Yeah.
Actually, not
like, Will obviously kills Jinx, but like I said, like, Jinx is not our only win condition here.
Yeah. But this is a tough spot, I feel like. Since I already botched like so many turns, like I basically I had to decide what I'm doing early.
Yeah.
And then commit to that game plan.
Yeah. By the way, like, if you rewatch this later on, I think
Definitely
the optimal play the turn earlier would have been Mystic Shot onto Solitary Monk and transfuse the Spider, maybe even in the same turn. Like, I'm not sure if you do the transfusion or bank the mana, but like the transfusion at least would have equated to 2 damage.
I have to remember that and watch it back later because a lot to keep track of. So this is just easy, right? Like, this is just so... Actually, is it this?
You probably... Wait, he has 3 mana left. So if you play Precious Pet, he's probably gonna play a turret, and like a turret will allow him to block 3 damage, so... Yeah, I like that.
That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, this is breaking my heart. Okay, goodbye, Jinx. I'll miss you. All right.
We got him down to 6 though.
Just click OK. Yeah. So basically, augmented experimenter beats his like no card hand. Also, by killing Heimer, there's another thing that isn't necessarily visible here. By killing Heimer, the other turn, we basically denied his progress day on these coming turns. Is this Precious Pet? Yeah, Precious Pet. I think it is Precious Pet because his hand is low, so there's a chance he doesn't kill it. I think this is Precious Pet.
Yep, I agree with Precious Pet.
There's an argument that because next turn I'm gonna have
for
4
double
cards.
rummaging, right? Wait. So it's gonna be his attack.
I'm gonna have 4 cards.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'll discard 1, and then the rummage will be on the other one. And then if that's a top deck Jinx, is that Rocket? That's 9 mana.
Yeah, you're
So I'll
probably
have 9 mana.
you're probably not.
I won't be able to Rocket anyway.
Yeah, you're probably not playing the Precious Pet this turn. Like the reasoning is if you plan to rummage next turn anyway, like
I need to make sure I have rummage targets.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because how often is this, like with all the turrets, how often is this getting 2 damage? Like rarely.
But now you're like in this weird stalemate where he can't really threaten you as well, and the longer you survive, the higher your likelihood of finding more burn that is going to eventually finish him.
I like this rummage on the Precious
Yeah,
Pet
you're rummaging here anyway, so.
On this action, right? On his action.
Yeah,
I
it
guess
doesn't really matter when you do it. The earlier the better.
It might give me answers, yeah. On his action.
Okay.
And skip block, right?
Yeah, I think I'd hold it. Like I'd pass as long as we threaten to kill. Like as long as we have a threatening open attack, we pass for sure.
Correct, yeah. Okay. It's Mystic Shot. No, if he passes it back to me, that's fine. Oh, I do. No, I don't lose though. Yeah, this is just an easy pass, in my opinion. Because this being potentially 1 damage is burst speed. Because I'm gonna draw something for get next turn. So it's just an easy pass up.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
See, this is sketchy now. It might be burst speed, the 1 drop, and then discard the rummage with get excited. Because like I'm not waiting for rummage value like 2 turns. But
damn, it's a bit rough. Yeah. It's like, are we playing around Spur's Refuge? Are we playing it around Deny or none of those?
well, we know it's not deny. Well, actually, no, it could be. It could be everything actually.
But the
He's in
thing.
top deck mode.
Yeah, if we think he most likely doesn't have Deny, you probably open up with Jury Rig, put it on the very left, and attack with the other 2 on the right side. So he doesn't get a good... No, the Jury Rig has to be on the left.
Oh, left. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, you're right. Yeah, true. This is the play I would have gone for even if we weren't discussing.
But this is also like against removal, it's also a bit rough. Okay, Deep Meditation was one of the best top decks for him.
A lot. Just trying to top deck Jinx. Oh, he's trolling.
Okay. He's not blocking with Heimer? What's going on here?
Oof. Okay.
Okay, so question is, like again, we could get rid of Heimer. We could get rid of the lifesteal, but he's still gonna be on.
5 damage is always going. Actually, this is a tough spot. Am I keeping the rummage?
What
I mean, if
though?
we're letting this through, and he's. Alright, so on this action, I'm gonna send both of these, one of these. I'm not killing Heimer. In my opinion, that's the wrong play.
Okay.
I'm sending. Oh, but basically, top deck. No.
What's your chance? Like finding Jinx, I guess.
He's 2 out of 22.
Well, then you should
11.
probably rummage both, or like if you go for it's actually close. Like he is going up to 9 this.
I mean, I'm letting this go most of the time anyway, so
yeah.
that's not that fine.
Yeah, this is one of the spots where we would have loved to run Noxian Fervor. The thing is, like, if you would have rummaged, you could have also picked up a transfusion, which would have been straight up lethal.
Okay, well now I'm committed to that, so. Yeah, rummage would have been okay.
Right, like rummage into transfusion, your 6 damage gets through before his 3 lifesteal due to our positioning.
It's true. Oh. Am I sending this turn? The get excited?
You're dead to open attack, aren't you? There's no point in sending get excited. Like, your best shot at winning here is rummaging, hoping to find Jinx and rocket and clear his board.
My best shot to win is rummage here.
Yeah, rummage, find Jinx, get an instant rocket, get rid of all of his turrets.
I mean, there's still. I made a lot of misplays. I'm gonna have to watch this one back. This was like a real tough game.
That was actually a super hard game to play, though. Like, I'm pretty sure there was some stuff I also didn't notice.
I'm okay with just conceding here, to be honest.
Yeah, you're not getting back.
Yeah, I have to watch that one back. I feel like just a lot of my plays were in conflict with each other. I just have to choose something to play for and play according to my. Yeah, I have to play for my outs basically.
Yeah, it's.
How much time do you have?
Like we can queue up one more. That's fine.
Okay, sounds good.
It's like, yeah, always have your current game plan in head. The thing with this aggro deck, it's like, obviously your long-term game plan is always going to be deal damage to Nexus, but like, think about how to get there most efficiently, right? Do you do so by clearing out his blockers with your burn? Like, does that equate to more minion damage getting through than the burn spell would do if it hits his Nexus directly? Also, like, can you prevent healing? That was the positioning part of the last game.
Yeah. But that's definitely right.
All right.
This is my instinct.
What's his deck? Katarina Z. It's probably aggro elusives.
A rally aggro.
But even then, like, you'd much rather have Mystic Shot than get excited for his minions. Yeah. Also, we attack on odds, so we're a lot less scared of. Okay, that's a hand.
Okay, so I think it's a pretty clear game plan. But this is just such a nice way to round out this hand. All right, let's see what he does though.
The open attack's gonna be nice.
This is absolutely an open attack.
Okay, you actually have a decision here.
Yeah, I'm thinking about vision. Vision. Such juicy damage. I mean, it's 3 mana, deal 3 damage. Chances are I'm gonna have to use this manual, from hand, either now or later. So, not banking on a rummage top deck or a discard top deck. I'm gonna have to use at least one of these from hand. So I'm doing it.
I like it. I like it a lot. This is basically, right now, this is a get excited without having to discard a card.
Yes. What can he have, by the way? Is there anything?
Blade's Edge, but he shouldn't be playing that. Will of Ionia is super inefficient. Okay, we're super happy about this. Death Lotus, I get. Yeah, coin flip is right, but playing Death Lotus in an aggro deck, lol.
It's one less will for my Jink.
Yeah.
It might not be aggro. It might be like a tempo list, like with the battering ram and like his whole thing is to rally or something like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be elusive.
Good point. It's probably Catling, right?
There's actually less. This color combo doesn't interact.
Yeah.
With Jinx here.
You're
right?
free to drop Jinx, especially like next turn. If you decide on open attacking, you can vision anyway.
Yeah. Instinct is open attack, because my instinct is open attack, but I can't even think of what he could possibly have, so I'm kind of confused. I just feel like again combo punished by open attacks.
I'm pretty sure we open attack here. Well, then again, okay.
With vision.
Yeah, but you don't have to use vision before he assigns blockers.
Yeah, that's true. But that I'm most likely using.
Yeah, I'm actually not familiar with his deck. Like, I don't know what kind of blocker he could play.
I think he's just playing for fun. Oh.
Well, that's why banking mana is great. Yeah, easy Mystic Shot.
Right,
he probably has an answer for that, which, but we can't do anything about it. Like either Twin Disciplines or...
most likely it's triggering 2 for like 4 or 3. I mean, is this vision?
Well, how much
No.
damage is vision?
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
at that point, just using the augmented experimenter.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna jam my minions and then next turn. I mean, I feel that was a 6 for 2 trade, or I guess plus the Jinx.
Yeah, that was still very favorably for us. Yeah.
I'm not.
I'd do it.
Playing with.
Yeah.
I guess it's two guaranteed damage right now, which Precious Pet isn't necessarily guaranteed to land.
Your board still looks the same. Yeah. And you're basically playing you're basically Mystic Shotting him.
Okay, so that was a nice top deck. I'm just going. I guess if it gets denied, and I know he's definitely gonna attack actually.
Yeah, but if it gets denied, you let his attack get through and clap him on open attack.
I don't necessarily agree. I feel like I could just let him do this and then augment it. No.
What's the upside?
Doesn't matter. You're right. Because I get chump blocker too. You're right. I'm thinking too much about that. Oof. I mean, this looks like a win.
Yeah, that looks like a juicy open attack.
Incredible how much of a difference it makes when your opponents play good decks.
True.
Yeah. All right. Oh, it looks like that was the last game then.
Yeah, this deck should actually be pretty good for climbing. Like a lot of the meta on ladder is currently very slow, so any type of hyper aggro deck should. Like especially this deck is a bit greedier than Burn usually is, just because it does implement a lot of card draw. Yeah. You should be able to do pretty well on it with ladder in general.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have to go pretty soon, but I just want to say thank you for doing this. I guess DM me or yeah. All right, thank you.
All right.
I think I.
Well, do you have any more questions? Anything regarding the deck or any?
Basically, like how should this deck fundamentally be played? Like I really don't consider it an aggro deck. I guess I would say it's more of a tempo deck. So like once these cards get nerfed, I'm like this I'm pretty sure is the optimal way to build this right now. I guess a little bit more burn centric, but like there were parts where I was playing this deck with like the 3-mana 3/2 spider stun. Or throwing in some whirling deaths and focusing more on like leveling up and value trades. Now, I've gone through a lot of iterations of this deck. conclusion I've come to is this is like kind of like value top deck, not necessarily like a burn aggro deck. Like it can function like that and it can play like that, but it has the advantage of not being like pigeonholed into that play style.
Yeah. I do think this would qualify as an aggro deck. Like it's a mixture of burn and I mean the discard archetype obviously, but yeah, it is kind of, you have a point, like you will often be relying on drawing into the final touch, into the final few damages, right? Because you are giving up playing certain burn spells for playing draw cards instead.
That's what, like for playing it a bunch, I came to the conclusion that, like, making sure you have the best top decks possible is the way to make this deck archetype consistent.
Yeah,
Which is why I run Mystic Shot, whereas some people don't.
Okay.
And why I don't run Noxian Fervor on that same note.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, Noxian Fervor might be worth it though, just because it breaks lifesteal, like either lifesteal units or Grasp of the Undying or anything. It just
I would never run 3 Noxian Fervors.
Yeah, but like 1 or 2?
1 or 2. Yeah, I mean, if I'm running Fervor, I'm definitely going to try that. I would definitely cut, like... What would I even cut, actually?
Scroll down again? Like, you could cut a...
Get excited and 1...
Usually I'd say get excited, but the get excited in a discard deck obviously makes a lot of sense.
Get excited Vision?
Yeah, Vision was what I was also looking at, yeah. But,
Vision...
yeah, get excited is kind of close. Like, I mean, Fervor kind of does what get excited does, and in the burn deck, you're not happy about the discard. Then again, in this deck,
I could just experiment.
Yeah,
I could experiment with just 3 and 1 and 2. It's just like semantics or whatever you would call it.
I feel like there are.
Right, well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, I really have to wrap up. I have to leave. So
all right, for sure.
bad.
Well, thank you as well. I hope it was helpful. And
yeah, absolutely was. I'm gonna watch this back. Thank you to chat for watching. All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, same to you. See you around.